Hi there, it's me, Meru Maharaj, again with Remax Oasis Dream Homes, and we're here today for another episode of Tuesday Talks. And we have an exciting guest here with us today, none other than Christine Schell with Residential Bancorp. Thank you so much, Christine, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to have you here, and we're so happy to talk to you. If you know what Tuesday Talks is about, we have a question that came from the person last week. We will ask you 3 questions, and then you'll give us a question for our next episode. All right, so we're going to start off with Crystal Brown from PRMI, Primary Residential Mortgage Inc. And she asked the question, if you must sing karaoke, what song would you pick?
So I know the answer to this because I always sing the same song if I do have to. I sing I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett.
Okay.
And the reason that I sing that is because I'm not a good singer. And usually when you sing like an anthem like that, everyone in the crowd sings it, so they drown you out. So there's a little tip.
That's a good one.
There's a little tip is if you don't want to sing a song that you know everyone knows all the words.
So I guess that's your first tip. If it's nothing about mortgages, we're gonna learn about what to sing for karaoke.
Yeah, so that's what I did.
I love that. So, Christine, first question, what's your favorite thing about your job? And what do you do?
Well, I am a loan officer with Residential Bancorp. I'm going to say I specialize with first-time home buyers, although I will work with anyone. I have been writing loans for 13 years now, and I really love it. I know that this is the last job I'm going to have. I am going to retire being a loan officer. That's how much I enjoy it.
Okay, that's great. What do you think is one of the more favorite things with your job?
Hands down, my favorite thing is what we're doing right now.
Oh yeah?
I love to network. I love to get to know people. My whole business has been built this way. I started by marketing, and as I got to know people and I started connecting with people, my business started to grow. Actually, if I didn't write loans, I'd probably still market. So
Okay.
in essence, that's my favorite thing.
So it's all about meeting people and networking.
It's all about sales.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. What's the least favorite thing about your job?
So oddly enough, my least favorite thing is sales. So sales is my favorite and my least favorite.
Okay.
And the reason it's my least favorite is because it's really hard. It's not easy. The lending part's easy. Getting business, it's difficult because I don't work for a big box lender. I don't work for a bank. I have to generate my leads, and I get them through agents, and I'm a little, sometimes I'll say I'm not very good at sales because I have a hard time asking for work, which is silly because that's what I'm supposed to do, but I don't always want to seem like I'm a salesperson. I really think that in a perfect world, I would just get the work and then I would do a great job and I would get more. But that isn't the way it works. You really have to establish a relationship in order to get that work. And so it is hard. It's the hardest part. But like I said, it's also the most rewarding because I have met so many wonderful people, and my best friends are in real estate.
Well, the thing is, sales may be hard for you. This is my opinion, but you have a great personality, and the business comes that way, and that's why you've been doing it for so long. How long have you been doing it?
So in November, I'll be licensed for 13 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been in real estate for a while. I worked for land surveyors, and that's how I kind of got involved. And when I did that, I would always network. I worked with title companies, so we did mortgage location surveys, and so I worked with a lot of title companies. And then through that, when people needed actual boundary surveys, like real estate agents, if something had to transfer, I started making relationships with real estate agents. So when I switched over to lending, I already had so many relationships. So really, I say I've been in real estate for over 20 years.
So again, so you didn't have to do much sales then, did you? So you had the people there already.
Yeah, I had a lot of people that just would come into Residential Bancorp and go, "What are you doing here?"
Okay, so that kind of brings us to our third question, and that's a great segue into that third question is how did you get started in this? Why? What
So,
were you doing before?
so I was doing surveying, and in approximately 2009, if anyone in real estate knows that there was, they call it a bubble, housing bubble or a crash, but no matter what you call it, the bottom line is, in Stark County, and I know that the surrounding counties had the same problem,
Yeah.
overnight the work just stopped. There was no surveys being ordered, there was no title work being ordered, no loans, just everything stopped. So I was laid off. And I started calling other surveyors because other surveyors would always try to recruit me. And I was calling, and every single person I called was like, "Christine, we're laying off." Like nobody was hiring. And then I started calling title companies, and they were saying the same thing. They're like, we don't even know if we're going to be able to survive this. So Residential Bancorp never did subprime lending, so they were solid. They didn't have any foreclosures, and so they were still doing business. And so I went in and I talked to the owner, Bill James, and I said, "Bill, I hear you're hiring a receptionist." And I said, "If you hire me, I will be the best receptionist you've ever had." I said, "I just need a job until I can recover." That was our deal. The deal was I was still going to look for another job, but he was just going to help me along the way. It was a complete fluke. I went to work for him, and he said, after about a week, he came up to me and he said, "How do you know every single person who walks in here?" And I said, "Well, I've been around. I've been in real estate." And he said, "You have to be a loan officer. You have too many relationships." And I said, "No way. I am never going to be a loan officer. It's too hard, and I don't even want to be in real estate anymore because it's too heartbreaking."
Yeah.
And somehow he poked and prodded and pulled me along, and I'm very grateful and very indebted to him because look at me now.
And the rest is history. That's a great story, and it's a great way of getting into it. Sometimes, yeah, you get your call in later on, like myself, got into real estate. Didn't think I would be here though, but I love it. Christine, that's your 3 questions. See how simple this was?
It really wasn't too bad.
Now you get to ask that question to the next person. Whoever that next person is, here is your question.
Okay, so if you could go back in time, and this could be anything, but I'm really thinking business, what would be your one tip as going into whatever it is that you do? Because I don't know who's going to get this, but whether you're a lender or a title company or a realtor, what would you tell yourself? What's the one thing that if you only knew it when you got into the business, it would have helped your career?
That's your question. Whoever's coming up next week, that's our Tuesday Talks episode for this week. I'm going to thank Christine for coming from Residential Corp. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to get a loan done or anything mortgage related, right?
Yes, anything. I am your resource.
So-
I can answer any questions when it comes to lending.
There you go. So her contact information is here on the screen. So reach out to her. Thank you, Christine. I did
Thank
enjoy
you.
this. We love having you here. Look out for the next episode. And don't forget, if you're serious about real estate, we're serious about you. Bye for now.
Awesome.